It doesn't matter.
I'm talking about.
Rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace. Such a good character actor. Oh, what is his name? Willie Garson. I think his name is Willie Garson. Yep, Willie Garson. Such a great character actor. He's in White Collar, Sex and the City. It's a shame he's not. It's not. He's known for Stargate SG1. I mean, he was only in like 3 episodes, but he made a big impact on the show. But yeah, he's passed. Rest in peace.
A twist. Something nobody's expecting. You mean something like this?
Such a silly episode. You kidding me? That'll be in the trailer.
I don't think anyone will see that coming. Are you kidding? It'll be in the commercial.
There you go.
How long?
For all of it.
For what? All of it. How long?
Years.
Well, days, weeks, months, maybe of meticulous, tedious, boring, tediousness.
Tediousness. Poor Jack. He just never seemed to understand that, you know, the shit isn't instant about the show. That really irritated me about Jack and why he's like not really, he's like low on the totem pole. My favorite characters is because when they first started out, RDA was big. He's like the techno babble he can't really do. I mean, he got enough of that on MacGyver. However, as the show went on, it kind of hindered the character. It kind of hindered the character's growth and evolution because with RDA not being willing to do the techno babble without being able to memorize that stuff, it kind of hindered his character arc a little bit, and it just became a hindrance to the character. It's like every time there became techno babble, he's just like the comedy sidekick at this point. Going, I don't want to hear. Just tell me. The audience is watching a sci-fi show because we are into the techno babble. It's the part that RDA did get in. It's kind of my take on the Jack O'Neill character. Jack O'Neill with 2 L. This was a good episode. I have watched this show a dozen times. Easily. This is my show. I've watched Atlantis, 4 or 5 times all the way through.
I'm Daniel. I wasn't talking to you.
I wasn't talking to you.
Who are you talking to then?
No one.
I feel tired.
Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to? Okay, the episode was a good episode, but what really pissed me off was the attitude of the sister. Because a good warrior knows to take in new information and to adjust even for combat tactics. So for her to be kind of stubborn and pigheaded and not, try to learn from her new surroundings and adapt to new information, it's kind of like, I think we're stretching a bit just to make drama. That was an episode. Oh, I don't remember what the actual episode was called. I want to say that was a season 6 episode, season 5, maybe. Fragile Balance, Opius, Vision, Lifeboat, Enemy Mine. Oh, that's such a good episode, Lifeboat. That's probably my favorite Daniel Jackson episode, simply because he should have got a fucking Oscar nomination for that episode. Birthright, season 7, episode 10. That's what it's called, Birthright, which is an episode that has a Star Trek alum in. God, I'm spacing on the name of Jolene Blaylock. She returns, I think, at that one other time. Her and Teal Keba, love fest. This season had 5 really good episodes. 5 really good episodes. Yes, absolutely. This is why I stream, so I can have conversations with people and I can geek out a little bit. I mean, I've already been going, I've been going an hour and we've been talking about Stargate the entire hour and I haven't even gamed once. We've made it about halfway through this 13-minute video.
Take a break. Fraser says Teal'c needs a little pep talk. I've been practicing in front of a mirror for an hour. Not peppy enough? No.
Peppy?
How are you feeling?
This is season 9.
You know what a hangover is. Never mind. Look, all I know is that the place you're searching right now is not it.
Then, where is it?
Did I just say all I know?
Everyone turn away.
I don't want any witnesses.
Want no witnesses.
were those Jaffa attacking you?
They were led by my second in command, Captain Nelson, as part of the daily exercise. We have kept the Jaffa encampment separate, so that we may better practice our Earth behavior. Shall I have him sent for?
No, I don't think that'll be necessary.
Send for him.
Yes.
Yes, send for it. I love how he's just like, go with the flow.
You can do it. Just
He overcompensates. I love it.
go to the panel by the rear exit.
Okay, now what?
Stay there, shut up, and let me finish.
Okay, so that is a character called Vala. She is a royal pain in the ass to SG1. She's also come from a show called Stargate with Ben Browder. And the character does evolve. She gets better and you start to fall in love with her. But for the first, I'd say half the episodes you see her in, you really just want her to freaking fall into a black hole or something. But you grow to love her.
One of the ships is hailing us.
On screen.
Dr. Jackson.
Oh, right. Hi, how are you?
I was expecting Anateo.
Yes, he was here for a while, but then he had to go.
Your ship is battered. My scans tell me your shield strength is low, and if you had hyperdrive, you would have left long ago. Surrender now, or be destroyed.
Right. Okie dokie. We surrender.
Okie dokie, we surrender.
Sorry, I'm late. I forgot what time the meeting was.
I know the acting is so funny sometimes. The villains in the show often have like computerized voices that are super deep. It's hilarious. So I think you're talking about maybe the Gould that any one of the symbiotes have. That was purposeful. That they wanted them to sound a lot different. Like they wanted you to be able to tell when the host was talking versus when the symbiote was talking. And they actually, when you get into like season 9 or season 8, season 9, they actually have an episode or two discussing, like there's a character that talks about, he's fully controlled by a ghoul, but he's talking normal. Like Ball starts talking normal at some point, without the voice reverb. And they tell you, look, we could talk just like you talk, but we choose not to because we need to be menacing. Eons past, that's how people feared that. That's how people knew to fear. As time has gone on, they've realized they don't need it anymore. So it's kind of funny you bring that up.
It's a little joke there. That's the memory thing.
The episode when Daniel comes back. This is season 7, early season 7. I think this is like episode 2 or 3. He's lost his memories from before and from being ascended. Such a good episode.
Dr. Jackson, this briefing is classified.
Yeah, Jonas mentioned that, but y'all said that I used to be part of this, so
Good enough.
Good enough. I love Hammond. He's so
I don't remember anybody, right?
Good one.
Thanks, Jim.
Star Trek all out. I love how Hammond evolved too.
No offense, Daniel, but it's not like you don't have some issues to work out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you should talk to someone.
I was.
Colonel,
Carter?
talk to you later, okay?
Speaking of great episodes, they do kind of look alike, right? I mean, granted, the guy who plays Hank is played a lot more menacing characters than Don S. Davis had. Oh, that brings me back to what I was starting before I started replaying it. Hammond started out as such a hard ass in the first episode or two. I think they kind of want to make him General West, like a General West light, but as the character grew and you know, Don S. Davis started acting more, I think they started lightening him up, because a veteran general is going to realize something like this. You've got to evolve and you've got to change it. You've got to be more open, or else you become like General Bauer, a freaking hard ass doing absolutely nothing but following orders and not questioning how this is going to affect everything else you're doing. I think that whole moment where he says good enough is a great example of how Hammond went from being super hard ass to international diplomat.
You okay? Not really. Yeah, you think a race fast enough to fly around in spaceships would be smart enough to have seatbelts, huh? Just prefer not to crash.
Can we take a minute to talk about the great casting choice of Carmen Argenzio as Selmac / Jacob? Another character that should have got a lot more screen time than he did. I would have loved a spinoff of Selmac, Jacob, and Braytac. Those two working together was always phenomenal to see on screen. I always love seeing those two working together.
Is there a problem?
Always.
Disrespect. But I have given my allegiance to you, to the SGC, and to the people of this world freely. Will, however, not see to the petty needs of these Goa'uld.
I'll see to the petty needs, sir.
See to the petty needs of the Goa'uld, sir.
Like I said, I haven't watched this thing like 10, 15,000 times.
Mr. Castleman with base security.
How do you mark time?
Years, days? A day is one revolution of our planet. A year is one revolution around our sun. There are 365 days in 1 year, so...
Then I am 432 years old.
Well,
I love how he calculated that without knowing the exact spinning, the exact amount of rotational spin that the planet has. I don't know. Maybe I'm just grasping at straws. It's just fun. I always found this particular scene funny. It's like you don't know nothing about mathematically about our planet, but you were able to work out how you don't know how fast we go around the sun or how fast we rotate around our axis, but you're able to work out 430. Saturn, for example, rotates around its axis, it rotates around, but it has a longer year and a longer day. So it's kind of like you worked that out just from that little bit of information, dude. I don't think you're accurate here.
you look great.
Thank you.
You look great. Hathor.
Probably nothing we can use.
Good episode.
Get a cellular level analysis on the Goa'ulds, maybe even find some DNA information.
A lot of that will probably be mine.
Ew.
She's got whatever Johnson's got. Had to drag her off.
Broke a divide.
Which is gonna fight with you like Johnson did.
I will say this is probably one of the standout episodes from season 1.
No, she tried to seduce me.
Oh, you poor man.
You poor man.
No.
Can we talk about season 1 Daniel's hair for a second? He's no James Spader. I mean, I think only James Spader could pull off that hairdo, but Jesus, that was a mop, wasn't it?
Daniel? That's stuff I was talking about at my house. The place was bugged. I had to keep up the act.
Oh, yeah.
I understand. And obviously the whole friendship thing, the foundation, it's all solid.
Obviously. You could tell me, but it's obviously.
I feel. I do
Appreciate
appreciate that you were the one that came to see if that was okay. That means something. I actually know.
No, it doesn't. We drew straws.
We drew straws.
I lost.
I lost.
Their faces, like, yeah, sorry, my bad. Tilk. Yes, I'm that guy that will quote every single scene that I know. Yes, I'm that guy. Don't judge. Daniel and Carter should. You know what? That is something that I always thought of in the earlier part of the series. Like, I thought Daniel and Carter made more sense than Carter and Jack, because Carter is a techie nerd. Like, she is brilliant. Daniel can match that. I always thought that was the better match. It also makes sense as well for Carter and Daniel to be kind of like brother and sister than a couple. I kind of lean more towards I prefer them as brother-sister type relationship, friendship, than a couple. You could see how it could go either way, and I completely agree with you.
Forgive me. He insisted.
Ha!
Daniel is here. Here?
What is the name of this episode? This right here is probably the best episode arc in the whole series. There But for the Grace of God, Politics, and Within the Serpent's Grasp, to include also episode 1 of season 2, The Serpent's Lair. Crystal Skull. That's the name of the episode. Season 3, episode 21.
Repeat what I'm saying. I'm standing right beside you. Standing right beside me.
He's lost a few pounds.
Jack, don't be an ass.
Jack, don't be an ass.
Daniel?
Daniel?
All he had to say was, Jack, don't be an ass. That's the part where he's like, oh shit, he's actually here. He's telling the truth. Holy shit.
I'm hiding. What's yours?
Season 7.
Carter and I are on the planet.
You're gonna have to be a little more specific, Jack. I haven't had a chance to look at a window lately.
You're hovering over Jonas's homeworld.
Why?
I wish I knew. Are you in any immediate danger?
Vernaquadria.
What do you mean by immediate?
Well, Jackson and Bala took care of that.
That whole RI thing was not our fault.
Just take.
So I know you guys probably haven't seen this yet, any of season 8 or season 9 or 10. So Bala's on the left. Of course, we got our 3 mainstays. And then on the right, we've got Ben Browder, who plays Colonel Cameron Camshaft Mitchell. Yes, his call sign as a pilot is Camshaft, which I think is fucking fantastic and hilarious. This guy is a SG1 fanboy, not Ben Browder, like the character. Cam Mitchell is an SG1 fanboy. Like, he joined SG1 so he could be a part of SG1, not like lead SG1.
Lame, you get used to it. Daniel, you sleeping yet? Yes, Jack. I'm fast asleep.
Yes, Jack, I'm fast asleep. Smart ass.
You said a couple?
Yeah, actually, I'm a little lost at the moment. And I've only got about 3 hours left before the Toker isotope goes off and I'm visible to the ship's sensors.
So, business as usual then, huh?
I don't know, is it?
Yes, we do this all the time.
Do this kind of thing all the time.
Oh, well, good. That's comforting. Dr. Jackson.
He's not that kind of doctor, Haas.
Treating my wound. I'm an archaeologist. I know, but you're also a doctor. Of archaeology.
I'm a doctor of archaeology.
Oh, you know, I have to tell you, I like this scenario way better than the last one. You ever try this chair?
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to watch this. I'm gonna have to start a SG1 rewatch myself. God, I forgot. Love this episode. For me, this really gives some depth to the SGC as an entity within the show, right? Like they're training new people to go on to more teams. It shows you that process. Just gives you that sense of this is a living, breathing thing. It's a functioning thing within this world.
Really comfortable.
Indeed, I have not.
Indeed, I have not. Why say indeed then?
Hello.
Have fun, Daniel.
This was so dark.
You did tell them to take me prisoner this time and not shoot me, right? Right?
Maybe, maybe not.
It's because of you I'm here. Take my tea. Take my tea as a greeting of respect. Okay. I'm just saying.
He did.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm talking about with Jack. I fucking hate those moments with him because he's a leader. He should be taking new information. As a colonel, he knows he should be a diplomat as well, especially being frontline team going to alien worlds. To say, I don't care what that means. It's kind of pig-headed, stubborn. I digress.
About what happened on that planet yet. Need I remind you, Dr. Jackson, of the dangers that we're trying to defend Earth against? Oh, could you? I mean, go slow.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, this guy is an alum in Star Trek. He played Q, the ever so lovable figure, which everybody thinks Q is a bad guy. But I see something totally different when I see Q. Q is a mentor to the next generation crew, so to speak. He just has a different way of going about it. I think he's neither good nor bad. He just wants to show people a way without actually giving them something. John Delancey, fucking great actor.
System log seems to be isolated on a separate crystal from memory control.
You know, Bregman actually had the nerve to suggest that all that archive video footage I gave him was boring.
Oh, heroes. Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
We're just trying to understand if we're supposed to be dead, how are you supposed to kill us again?
You want to find out Four Eyes, huh?
Four eyes? Easy, big fella.
He's a big fella.
The planet you guys found me on was nice. People were simple, life was quiet.
What did he say?
I couldn't remember what this was.
Another crime of the show that Jonas didn't get more time on the show. They should have made room for him. SG1 is a great show. However, they failed to evolve the show beyond its initial concept, right? So they kept the same formula of four-man team going out and having adventures on planets. This was before you had TV universes. They were kind of an early adopter because you had SG1, you had Atlantis, and then you had SGU. But Jonas should have been added to the cast. Like, you could have had episodes with, you know, Jack, Jonas, and Daniel. Imagine those episodes, those three in an episode together, and how irritated Jack would get.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, if we get out of this,
Oh, you can keep the office.
Maybe you need to focus it a little.
I don't think so. It might have been implied in an episode, but I don't think we actually ever saw it, or they actually confirmed it. Well, you weren't using it anymore.
You may enter your query verbally.
Oh, such a good episode.
I'll speak.
One of my favorite Atlantis episodes. Or no, this is an Atlantis SG1 crossover.
Most system interaction.
I think I had her in grade 5. We have to go back there.
kinda.
I guess it's because we miss him.
And we have to talk to those giant aliens.
Or radiation sickness.
Good night, sir.
What? That's...
Felt bad for Jonas when he tried to save Carter in that episode when he kept foreshadowing things. That was kind of a double-edged sword because he did end up helping, but at the same time, it was killing him. So I get it. I think it's slowly implied that whatever, because an episode or two before that he was in that machine from Nirti, so that I think it's slightly implied that that's where that tumor came from.
I'd do it for you. This tastes like chicken.
So what's wrong with that?
It's macaroni and cheese.
Had an MRE like that.
Running the same diagnostic program for 4 hours now. What makes you think the results are suddenly going to change? Sam? Hello?
Were you this annoying when you were ascended?
I don't know. Depends on who you ask. I thought I had a certain je ne sais quoi. Timing was so-so.
By someone with that's a guess.
No, you're right. Which these obviously have been.
So any one of us can take the pony ride. Dine out on it for a while?
Yeah, like you wouldn't believe.
Well, no one's going to make an argument against that. You are the world's foremost expert on the ancients, but we got 2 stones.
Yes, and this one's mine. Thank you.
But he can't be more than 15 years old. Are you saying Colonel O'Neill has somehow regressed more than 30 years overnight?
Stranger things have happened. Name but one.
Tilk,
The time he got really old, the time he became a caveman, the time we all swapped.
have you not read the mission reports? I mean, come on now.
Portion of this exercise. Run a search for all recent seismic activity.
My favorite joke in the whole series.
Check around 4 a.m. local time. I was here. I thought someone was trying an off-world activation, but nothing happened except for the chevrons glowed and there was a slight vibration. Captain Carter and Colonel O'Neill.
What happens when you dive in a room?
Wrong person.
Person to ask.
What happened?
Busy signal.
Exactly.
Wrong person to ask.
Vibration like that unless you're trying to dial home.
Busy signal.
Exactly. Wrong person to ask. What happened?
You get a busy signal.
It makes me laugh every time. I don't know why.
Vibration like that
that.
because they were trying to
I love that
dial
interaction.
You are in league with a Goa'uld.
is Tanith.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to be dead?
If you must know,
I must.
I had left Apophis' ship in an escape pod long before the sun exploded.
Okay. Point of order. How the fuck did you leave Apophis' ship that quickly, escape the blast radius that quickly, when neither of the other two ships escaped the blast radius of an exploding sun? I think that was kind of some interesting lazy writing, a little, maybe not lazy writing, but kind of like, really? He was able to escape the blast radius when Apophis wasn't able to? I'm not buying this.
Better get back to the Stargate.
Oh, Dr. Jackson, I was lying to you before. The price on your head is...
Of course you were lying. You're a bounty hunter.
Actually, the Goa'uld want to see you dead as much as anyone for figuring out the Stargate.
How'd they know he was the one who figured it out?
Doesn't make me feel any better.
And I hate the fact we didn't see any more of him.
And I keep seeing the dead Goa'uld from the massacre.
Where?
Well, last night they were in my closet. In like a Stargate event horizon without the gate.
In your closet?
Yes. I don't think they're really dead.
Who? Stiffs in the morgue?
No, the 9 Goa'uld that were using them as hosts. I translated a phrase in a tablet that I thought meant attack, but when I refined the translation, I realized it means to enter by infiltration.
And you think that's what they're doing?
Yes.
Through your closet?
Teal'c said the Linvis were being hunted by the System Lords, right?
How you doing?
Good. Did you get your haircut?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
No reason.
Can I see your scar?
No.
No.
Fraser.
This was Budge into season 3. Funny story about this. Michael Shanks actually had appendicitis before the filming of this episode. And so they just actually wrote in that he was on bed rest, that the character was on bed rest from appendicitis. So when he says in this episode, I have appendicitis, that's Michael Shanks talking. He has appendicitis. He had surgery for appendicitis.
Says it'll be about a week before you get her.
You know, it's funny. I mean, after everything we've been through these past few years, and of all things, it's my appendix that lays me out. It's not quite a week. I mean, I feel fine now.
Want to go fishing?
You know, actually, that sounds relaxing.
Well, maybe. No, you know, I think maybe I will stay here for 2 or 3 days.
3 days. Bye. Yeah, sure, you betcha.
I can't get used to being this far underground. I keep looking around for a...
The original Dr. Weir, which I would have loved to have seen her play Weir for the entire run of Atlantis. Like Jessica Steen, I love her in everything she plays in.
window.
I see you found the one with the best view. Remember when we were first trying to get the Stargate to work, I would come here and just stare at it for hours.
Is that a gentle reminder that you've been an important part of this since the very beginning?
Not so subtle, huh?
Dr. Jackson.
Okay, so Jessica Steen is such a great actress. Anything I've ever seen her in, I've loved how she's played character. I sorely, sorely wish that she would have gotten the series of Atlantis over Tori Higginson. To be clear, Tori Higginson was great as Weir in that series, but I think Steen could have been better. It would have just been a different dynamic with Steen, and I would love to have seen her had that opportunity to grow as an actress as well.
Insist you calm yourself, otherwise I'll have to have you restrained and further sedated.
Why are you so quick to jump to the conclusion I'm crazy? I mean, I'm dangerous. I'm out of control. That's because I'm kind of acting that way, aren't I?
I was sure that was an aspirin.
Another great interaction with these two.
Keep it, hide it, destroy it, whatever. It doesn't matter. We don't have much time.
Hey, Daniel. How you doing? Long time. How are things in the higher planes?
Jeez, I gotta go through this with this guy. Fuck.
How you doing? Fine, just fine. The knees, the back, everything's...
Oh, you know, kind of weather contingent.
Right. What's new?
Actually, funny thing happened to me today. I'm riding an elevator, and an old friend of mine, someone who never calls, never writes, just shows up and tells me
The eye roll, like,
important and
that-
apparently urgent mission that needs my attention.
You gonna help or...
No, wait. Let me tell it. It's good. You see, this buddy of mine, this pal,
ascended to a whole new level of existence. Do you see the irony? He's asking for my help, and he's this great and powerful being.
Jack, we've already been through this. I can't actually do anything. It's like we're in Botany Bay.
What?
Oh, the original name for Sydney Harbor. When the British first colonized Australia, they turned it into a continental prison. It was half a world away. Of course, this is probably more than that.
What the hell are you doing? Stop it!
She started it. I think you started it when you kissed Harry.
Shut up! You're...
As much as I love this episode, I fucking hate this episode too, because this interaction right here, while it's great, it's hilarious, it's funny, it's also like, now you're just starting to do self-parroting shit, and when you get to this point, it's probably time to start trying to wrap up the show, because you're kind of running out of ideas.
Hostages! This is like a life and death situation here. Start acting like it.
Oh, please. You're not rebels. We're not deaf, you know. Everyone in this room...
We're heavily armed!
Prattle on about solar activity and corona something.
Coronal mass emissions. I was just about to bring it up.
There you go. How would I know that?
Maybe you read my report.
Maybe he read your report?
Like, come on, Sam, this is Jack we're talking about. He read your report of all?
I'm telling you guys, we've done this before.
Another one of my favorite Daniel Jackson episodes. Ka.
Right. Yes. Toss the symbiote head. That's very, very popular. Very, very interesting. Yes, all the kids are doing.
Come on, you're an archaeologist, man. Now, don't say Kata, you tried.
It's funny. I met my father-in-law like this.
Speaking back to the movie where he met Kasuf. See, Stargate had great moments like this. Like season 9, season 10, they got away, like they got away from these deep episodes and they just kept to a formulaic action adventure. But these are the episodes that I love from Stargate, the ones that were deep in philosophy. It kind of almost Star Trek-ish without the space travel.